That's a new one from Adole. The man himself, Kamido. GDS. That's how he names his LP. Or EP, I don't know how.
Yeah.
It's an EP,
EP,
right?
yes,
It's an EP.
yeah.
Right, it's a new one. It has a nice
It's
string
actually
of
quite
songs.
nice, yeah, quite a lot of good songs on it.
Of them.
Kamido is truly changing the game.
Yeah,
I love it.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I love this animated Wakanda type.
I know.
Yeah. I don't know who in Wakanda is in love like that. The way they are dancing. One of the people who love this song is a great friend of mine.
Ooh.
He's group chairman for Rates, the Rates group. They're involved in oil transportation, etc. So they have the Rates Company Limited. He's the managing director there as well.
Fantastic.
Chairman Godwin Tamaklo. This one is from your wife, Alice. Chairman Woban, good morning to you as well. From all of us, we're happy that you're celebrating your day today. We know that you'll be very busy, but don't worry. We'll come and eat the fufu and everything else over the weekend.
We love to see it. We love to see it. But how's your day been? Or morning been so far?
Yeah, it's been okay. Yeah. Night a bit hectic. The lights went off.
Yes, so the load shedding has caught you.
Yeah, so I don't know whether I need to go and get a generator or something.
Because it's 2 weeks, we would hope that we would not need any...
They said it's only 2. But before then, they were doing some small.
Yeah, they said Doomsday is not back. It's just 2 weeks. Once Ghana Gas resumes operation.
I'm saying that before they came up with this time.
Yeah, there were some small skirmishes.
Small. They'll call it localize this thing. The thing will go off for 5-6 hours.
Then they'll come back.
So I don't know what they mean by that. Sometimes I know what the official statement is. But I'm saying that before this official statement, everybody in Ghana would attest to the fact that
there's been some intermittent flights
towns or cities in Ghana where we had communities experiencing power cuts. And so that's the problem. Yeah. So this one is official. So
it's official,
we all know that the time they give us, maybe we'll
So maybe let's monitor. After it's done, let's see if truly there is a bit more intermittent power cuts, then we can now make a case to say it's Doomsday back.
I know, right? Myself and the chief executive of Wembley Sports Construction Company Limited, Robert Kuman, we're talking about power cuts in the community. He had, he built Astro's Tech.
Yes,
so
he even built one in Agogo.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
In
Agogo?
In Agogo, yes. So we have an AstroTurf. A very good morning to Robert.
Robert Kuman. Charlie, you are doing well, oh. Hey, AstroTurf in Agogo.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Agogo is a full town. Oh.
Hey, I know.
Very operational town, yes.
It's always been a full town. And he inaugurated one at Alajo just, was it yesterday?
Yes. Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was built by the Member of Parliament for the area. So he made a picture with the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Love to see it.
That'll be a good one there, Robert. But no matter what it is, there have been a number of things. Yesterday, I was listening to the 3 business summits.
Yes.
And there were a number of exposition. I mean, things we already know, but again, well emphasized. Because if we are saying it, they'll say that we're doing maybe
propaganda of some sort.
Or rabble rousing. We're MPP and DC.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you speak and the issues are not in favor of government, they say that you're NDC.
Absolutely.
And Professor Godfred Bobkin of the University of Ghana, the economist, the finance professor, as well as we had ASEP's Ben Boachi.
Yes, presenting papers.
Put matters into perspective. And they just told us plainly that as a country, we don't seem to have a development plan.
Yes.
And we're going to the IMF because we want a certain level of credibility for which we'll go back to the market and be borrowing. I mean, basically, that's what they said.
And honestly, I feel that at this point in time, IMF has sort of become this band-aid that we just put on to just cover a multitude of issues at the bottom. But at the end of the day, we haven't as yet figured out how to ensure that after our 17th time, we're not going to go back to IMF. And truly, Senyo Hosi made a very profound point that at this particular point in time, we all know we're in an economic crisis. We all agree to that. But do we, as the citizens of Ghana, actually know the roadmap to get us out of the ditch? Everyone keeps speaking about the fact that, oh yes, there's a plan in place. Adding these new revenue bills is one of the a big part of the plan. The domestic debt exchange program is part of the plan. But what is the bigger plan? What is it so that we can all have a buy-in? Because some of these policies end up being detrimental to the ordinary Ghanaian, because with the revenue bills, yes, it's great that we're trying to increase our revenue, actually get more money to be able to do more projects. But at the end of the day, what is the end effect to the ordinary Ghanaian? So if we all know the big plan, okay, this is our 10-year plan to get ourselves out of this mess completely, or this is our 4-year plan, or this is our 2-year plan, or this is our 5-year plan, then we all know that we all have to tighten our belt over the next few years, because at the end of it, this is what we'll be able to achieve. If we all had a general idea of the big plan that I'm sure government has mapped out, but if we were all to have a nice buy-in, and also maybe some of the stakeholders can contribute, because if we are seeing Chamber of Commerce, AGI, and a few others saying that something like the revenue bills, they were not consulted about it, then that means when it comes down to stakeholder buy-in, we're really not really seeking their consent on some of these bills. That's directly or indirectly affects them and their bottom line. So perhaps the bigger picture should be shown to us. Let us all buy in. Let all the stakeholders, all the civil societies, all the organizations that deal with industry, deal with manufacturing, deal with the people in general terms, all have an idea of where we're going to, know or understand what it takes to get us there, and then perhaps there'll be less pushback as the government may see.
Well, it's the consultation that's the main issue, right?
Absolutely.
So when you have the stakeholder engagement, then it also means that you have a certain buy-in.
Exactly.
But yesterday from the forum, you could clearly see that it is the category of the population that are paying taxes that are still going to be taxed, overtaxed. There was one thing that Ben Boachi mentioned that I hadn't averted my mind to. He did say that when you do a proper assessment of, let's say, procurement that is given by the PPA, for example, you find that all the big works are mainly sole sourced.
Exactly. At this point in time, why?
And he said 85% of them are sole sourced. You won't find them on the website of the PPA. Because if you have them there, it means they go through competitive tender and you have the best. So if they are sole sourced, it ultimately means that, and these are big tickets. We're talking about big projects.
Large items.
Big projects which involve millions of dollars.
Exactly.
And it's the small ones like the 1 million, 2 million,
That
5 million that you find on the PPA website. I mean, that all of us through our companies, we all go and struggle, if they are supplies or whatever it is. But I think that government, whether it's the government of today or tomorrow, need to avert their mindset that we need value for money.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at the amount of money that comes into our system, and at the end of 4, 5, 6, 7 years, we have to go back to the IMF.
Imagine.
Yeah, we got off from the IMF just in 2019, and even that was
with the Kinky
after,
Party.
and that was even after an extension. Now all of a sudden we're back to the IMF 4 years later.
And quite
Actually,
interesting,
it was even 2 years later.
A government that stated emphatically on many platforms, even a few weeks prior, that there's no way they're going to the IMF. So perhaps we need to figure out the real problem and not use the IMF as an opportunity to cover it up.